Previously on Third and Roll.
And we enter the green rectangle, this parliament of football.
Barnes with the quarterback sneak. And Barnes is into the end zone.
This crowd is just loving it.
Green is moving back. He's got Clark there right in front of him. And the ball has come out. He has fumbled the ball.
Crowd is stunned into silence here as Montreal fumbles the ball in the shadow of their own goal line.
Touchdown!
That was just a golden gift dropped into the Argo's lap.
Are we just shadows on the cave? That's football, man.
It is an age of Canadian football domination. In the West, the Edmonton Eskimos are a dynasty without equal. Behind the quarterback tandem of Tom Wilkinson and Warren Moon, the Eskimos have won 5 consecutive Grey Cup championships between 1978 and 1982. In the East, 4 teams battle it out through a 6-game season to see who will meet Edmonton in the championship game. The Toronto Argonauts have not hoisted a Grey Cup since 1952. Will this be their year? Let's find out. This is Third and Roll.
Welcome to Third and Roll, the Canadian football board game podcast. This is the podcast where we play the 1985 board game Canadian Armchair Football. My name is Spencer. This is my brother Alex.
Hello.
This is episode 13. This is the conclusion of the Argos' 4th game of the 19th season on the road against the Montreal Alouettes. Today we will also see the end of Todd Grey's interview with Ron Southwick. We are going to bring you now to the start of the 4th quarter. Let's throw it to Edward Welch and Norman Knuckleberger up in the booth. Guys, take it away. Thank you very much. We are back for the 4th quarter. Norman, there is a lot on the line here today. Will this be the turning point? Will Montreal be able to turn around their season, or will they be going down to 0-4?
Well, I'm still catching my breath after that incredible attempt to kick a field goal from over 60 yards away. It came short, and Toronto picks up the ball at the 20-yard line. And, yeah, we got one more quarter of football to play. I can't wait to see what happens.
You know, earlier on in the game, there was a lot of criticism of Montreal for being extremely conservative. But I got to say, that was an unorthodox approach, trying a 62-yard field goal. You know, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Oh, you're absolutely right, Edward. I used the word conventional more than once to describe Montreal's approach, but what just happened there was anything but.
It is 14-10 Argos. Argos have the ball after that missed field goal. It's going to be a
First down, Toronto.
From their own 20-yard line, we've got Jackson looking for Greer. This is a wide receiver screen. That pass is complete. Greer picks up 17 yards through the air. Let's see what he can do after the catch. Nothing. He gets brought down by Randy Rhino, smothers him like a rhino looking for a feast, but he still got the first down, so it is going to be a first down Argos from their own 37-yard line. Jackson coming right back. He is going to hand it off to Metcalf. Metcalf going off right tackle. And Metcalf picks up 10. So the Argos are really moving down the field here, going back and forth from Greer to Metcalf, Greer to Metcalf. Let's see what they're going to do. Are they going to keep that pace going? The answer? Yes, they are. It is going to be a short pass off to Greer. And that ball is slapped out of Greer's hands by Randy Rhino. Yeah, baby! Yeah. He is wagging his finger thusly in the face of Terry Greer, saying, "Not in my house." It is going to be a 2nd and 10 now for the Argos.
I really enjoy that finger wagging gesture by the defense, just saying, no, you can try, but that's not going to fly here.
Jackson under center. He is pitching it out to the left. Metcalf breaks it out to the left-hand sideline. He is past midfield. He is at the Alouette 40, at the 30, at the 20, at the 10, and he is going all the way for a touchdown. Wow. Metcalf.
Touchdown.
That is a 50-plus yard run. That is a way to say, hey, we are the best team in the East. You guys are the worst. We are not going to let this be a close one. So we've got
Zenon Andrushishin.
on for the extra points. It is good. And so with that, it is 21-10 Argos. Argos taking advantage of some poor tackling there by Montreal. And so with 12 minutes to go in the game, the Argos have a 2-score lead.
Well, when you break open a hole like that, I mean, the game just breaks open. That was that was a game-breaking play.
You know, we were saying early on in the game that they tell rushers and they tell returners to run north-south. That's an example with a pitch out where you're going east-west, and if you find your seam and you find your gap, you can make it all the way down the field. So you know what, guys? Don't listen to the conventional wisdom. You don't have to always run forward. Sometimes pick your gaps. You got to have the vision as a returner. Look for those blocks. Get in behind your blocks. Find that gap. Hit that gap with all the speed you got. And then you could be just like Terry Metcalf, who that is his second rushing touchdown of the game. And that pushes him well over 100 yards on the game.
This is James Franklin, quarterback for the Toronto Argonauts, and you're listening to Third and Roll, a Canadian football board game podcast.
Okay, so we are back now. And so after the touchdown, we have
Zenon Andrushishin.
on for the kickoff. That ball is up. Zenon with a 60-yard kick. That's going to bring the ball all the way down to the Montreal 5-yard line. Montreal with the return. He's up to the 20. He's got some blockers in front of him, and he brings it up 45 yards. So he's going to get tackled at the 50-yard line. That was a very nice return there by the Montreal Alouettes. It happened again after the last Argos touchdown that Montreal had a really great return. They were not able to do anything whatsoever on that possession, but let's see what they can do here.
First down, Montreal.
Barnes under center, handing it off to Green. Green looking to do a reverse. And Green gets stuffed by Bruce Clark. That is a loss of 1. And we've got Barnes back under center. He is going for a pass from option now. And he picks up 10 yards. It's a pass out there to Keith Baker for 10 yards. They need one more to get the first down. And they pick up 5.
First down, Montreal.
From the Argos 47-yard line, they're on the Argos side of the field. Barnes is trying to do a little Metcalf, trying to do a little end run here, and he breaks it out to the right-hand sideline. Out to the right-hand sideline, he picks up 25 yards. Wow.
They finally found the hole in the Argos' run defense.
So he was brought down there by Preston Young. Preston Young not doing a lot of tackling today because when the ball has been coming in his zone, he's been slapping it down. So Barnes under center, he is going for the screen pass. He dumps it off to Green. Green, that's complete for 4 yards. Let's see what he can do after the catch. And he picks up another 17 yards.
First down.
Barnes under center. That pass is complete. Green after the catch, and he picks up 3 yards. Montreal, this is a pretty impressive drive here. They are down to the Argos' 14-yard line. To Green, it's a sweep, and he picks up 4 yards. But wait a minute, there's a
flag on the play.
Let's go down to the sidelines, and it is
The ruling on the field is offside on the offense. Offside, that's a 5-yard penalty. We're going to repeat first down.
Wow, well, that is disappointing there for the Montreal Alouettes. They had a lot of momentum there. It pushes them back. It is now 1st and 15. They are going right back to the pass from option. Barnes That is a completion. That is 10 yards. 10 yards down the field to Baker. Let's see what they can do after the catch. And it's a what? It's a lateral.
Wow.
It's a lateral.
What just happened there?
Wow, this is a rare third roll on a single play, so let's roll to see what happens after the lateral.
He laterals at the 1 yard line.
And then he picks up 15 and he goes into the end zone. Wow.
Can you believe what just happened there?
What did just happen there? That was a throw from Barnes to Baker. Baker does the lateral to David Green, and David Green gets to run into the end zone. Who gets credit for the touchdown? I mean, obviously it's a passing touchdown for Joe Barnes, but it's got to be Norman. It's got to be the guy that crosses the end zone with the ball, right? So it's got to be Green. Green, as the recipient of the lateral, he had the ball as they crossed the line of scrimmage, so that is a receiving touchdown for David Green.
Well, it looks like even Rules Pedant is shaking his head. He doesn't want us to cut to him because he doesn't even know what the ruling would be on this. But of course, I mean, who gets individual credit? It's a team effort. The individual, there's the passer, the receiver, and then the second receiver from the lateral. I just can't believe the guts of this play to take the ball down to the 1 yard line. And then instead of going down with the ball, to decide to risk everything, to risk a catastrophic fumble, and just decide to lateral the ball away for this moment of glory, and it succeeds, and the crowd is loving it.
Is really bringing back football to its history in rugby, where if it was rugby, you would lateral it. You would try to keep that ball moving so you can get into the end zone for the try. And I gotta say, major kudos to Keith Baker. I'm looking at Willie Wood on the sidelines. He is tipping his cap.
Well played, sir.
To the other team for some very creative play calling and some great execution. We've got Jerry McGrath, who is on to kick the extra point.
Although, wait, now looking at the score, it looks like they are now down by 5.
Yes, it is 21-16 for the Argos.
So Montreal's making the correct call, and they're keeping their offense on the field here. We scrimmage it's like a scrimmage from the 2 yard line.
Is that what it says? Is that what it says?
That's what I say.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
Oh, yeah, Rule 16. 2-point convert from the 5 yard line.
So,
we've just been hit once again by the rules of Canadian armchair football. Just like the no play can be repeated twice in a row, you also can't take a nice cozy 2 yard 2-point convert.
This is, I will remind you, we're currently in 1980, and this is a board game from 1985. And the folks at Betsold Games, Inc. from Winnipeg, Canada, they say you got to go from the 5 yard line. So thank goodness that this information was given to the Montreal coach before the play was blown in. So, Norman, again, you're doing some hand signals there with the Montreal coach. With this new information that you have to score a 2-point conversion from the 5 yard line, is he still looking to go for it, or is he going to go for the single point?
They are keeping their offense on the field. They would rather get 3 points down because, hey, if you kick a point, you're 4 points down instead of 5 points down. Who cares? But if they can make this long 5 yards, then they'll be only down by a field goal.
So Montreal out on the field. Barnes, he is handing it off to Green with an off left tackle. And Green busts it into the end zone. That is also the first 2-point conversion of the 1980 season. Way to go, Montreal. It had to happen eventually. So with that, it is now 21-18 for the Argos.
Greetings from the desk of Dr. Footius Balloonicus. The mountain nation of Georgia celebrates an ancient game known as Lelo Burti, field ball. The field selected would often have a stream passing through it, sometimes stretching several kilometers on rough ground, hills, valleys, woods, and marshes. The task of each team, which often had several dozen players, was to get the ball into a certain place, such as over the edge of the village or to the foot of a mountain. Any means necessary could be used to drive the ball forward. Sometimes it was even played on horseback. And the game continues today in the proud tradition of Lelo Burti.
Welcome back. We are here in Montreal in the fourth quarter. There are 5.5 minutes remaining. Montreal with a very gutsy call, going for two on the touchdown. So it is 21-18 Toronto. Jerry McGrath is on the field, and he's going to be kicking the ball off to the Toronto Argonauts.
Well, that drive just had guts all over it. From that incredible lateral thrown from the 1 yard line, which was the stuff legends are made of. And then going for 2 points, and what a game we have now going into the final minutes.
Yeah, someone called the cleanup crew. There was guts all over that drive. So Jerry McGrath on, and that is a good kick. That is a 55-yard kick. Argos with the ball from their own 10-yard line. And the Argos are able to bring it up the middle to the 40. So that's a 30-yard return, a pretty decent return there. Let's see, can they close out the rest of this game, or are they going to give the ball back? They don't want to give the ball back. They want to hold on to the ball for the rest of this game. Let's see where they can go from here.
You're listening to Third and Roll.
Jackson playing the clock. He's going to give it to Metcalf. Metcalf going off to the right, and Metcalf picks up 10. So that's a good start there for the Argos, who make it up to the 40-yard line.
First down, Toronto.
Just over 4.5 minutes remaining in the game. Jackson goes to Metcalf off to the left now. And Metcalf picks up another 10. So they are really driving down the field here. Well, let's see if they can get a field goal, or maybe if they could win the game with a touchdown here.
Shut up, fool!
Jackson hands it off to Metcalf, going right up the middle this time. And Metcalf picks up 5. So it's going to be a
second down
and 5 for the Argos. Jackson, he is going for a screen pass, and they pick up 5. So they have the first down. Let's see what Metcalf can do in terms of yards after the catch. And he fumbles the ball. Metcalf, all he had to do was go down. Metcalf fumbles the ball. Wow, handing the ball right back to the Montreal Alouettes. You can see the blood rushing out of his face. He looks like a ghost out there. He cannot believe what just happened. Norman, what are your thoughts here?
Take it back!
Oh, the Argos were just moving the ball down clinically, just like these 10-yard gains and just like smooth, eating up the clock. But all it takes is just a little whoopsie daisy, as football players like to call it, and it's all turned upside down.
Whoopsie daisy indeed, and that fumble brings us right up to the...
This is the 3-minute warning.
So with that, we're going to step away. Montreal with the ball. They are down by 3 minutes remaining in this game. Let's see if they can pull out their first victory of the year, or can the Argos, under the leadership of Bruce Clark, snuff out this drive, bring the ball back to the Argos, and deliver another victory for our first place Toronto Argonauts.
You're listening to Third and Roll. Can I say the same thing but in Tamil? நீங்கள் கேட்டுக்கொண்டிருப்பது Third and Roll.
Welcome back to the show. We are at the conclusion of Todd Gray's interview with Ron Southwick, and it's a scenario I think many of us have been in as well, and it's really great to hear about how football players are just like us. So let us go to Todd Gray interviewing Argos linebacker Ron Southwick. Todd, take it away.
Ron, we've had a really good talk so far. We talked about football. We talked about philosophy. We talked about family. In particular, feuding. I want to talk about another type of feud. A feud between yourself and the Hamilton Tiger Cats running back, Rufus Crawford.
Yeah.
Now, this is not a new beef. This beef has legs. Can you tell our audience a little bit? So you've been with the Argos for a couple of years, and you guys have, knocked heads a couple of times. Can you tell us about how did this beef start, Ron, between you and Rufus?
Well, it goes back to what I was saying about coming to Toronto from Winnipeg and learn to fight your way on the streets. A guy cuts you off, you gotta cut him. And there was a time after one of the games, everybody was leaving the parking lot, and Rufus, that son of a bitch, cut me off in his brown Camaro.
Wow.
I always remember the sight of that Camaro, and he was just laughing at me. You don't do that in Winnipeg. You don't do that. It just seemed like all the rules are different. I just arrived in Toronto. I still pronounced it Toronto then. And this son of a bitch cuts me off while leaving the game. I've never forgiven him.
And he'd had a particularly good game.
He played really well. I couldn't get inside of his head. He was just running circles around me. And yeah, when I think about it, I like to think I'm a self-reflective guy,
Mm-hmm.
And I have my part to play in that.
Right.
But I don't think it was a nice thing to do.
Now
So I've never forgiven him.
And it showed. And it showed.
As it should. I was sending a message.
And I think he has picked up on that as well, because as I recall, in the following game, and you've talked about this in interviews previously, that you wanted to rear end this particular individual. You did something that was quite unusual during a rushing play. So we don't have the clip here, so I'll just have to do my best to summarize what occurred. But it was a running play right up the center line, right past the center, in between the center and the left guard. And Rufus got right into that gap, and you were there to welcome him. But instead of wrapping your arms around him, as many people do, you did something a little bit unusual, in that you turned around and you bent over and you basically knocked him over with your behind. Basically, in a sense, rear-ending him in another fashion.
I've got a strong butt. You work on the Winnipeg, that's how you live. That's how things go.
And so that is something that has not really happened before or since. And you could see the look of rage and emasculation on Rufus's face.
Yeah. I've got a tattoo of his face looking emasculated on my left bicep. Should have gotten it on my butt.
These are why we talk to the players, to get these kinds of stories. And so ever since then, There's been a lot of extracurricular activity between the two of you guys. The play, even though the whistle blows, it seems like you guys don't really stop.
No, that feud is just gonna go on and on and on. Feud first, not family.
So the Argos will be facing Hamilton twice this year. Do you have a particular message for Rufus, for the Tiger Cats, or for the fans of Hamilton regarding what you plan to bring to these games?
I plan to bring my butt, and it's gonna get in all of your faces.
Well, thank you so much for that, Ron.
Thank you very much to Todd Grey and Ron Southwick there. So with that, there's 3 minutes to go in the game. Montreal with the ball at their own 40-yard line. I will remind you that because we are within the 3-minute warning, that the clock will stop after every play. Barnes hands it off to Green, and that is a 7-yard pickup there. So with 2 minutes and 50 seconds remaining, that is going to be a 2nd and 3 now for the Alouettes. They are going right back to Green. It is an off right tackle, and they pick up 3 yards. So just enough to get them past the line. 2 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. Montreal now at their own 50-yard line.
First down, Montreal.
Barnes is back. It's a pass from option. That is a 10-yard completion. So Barnes to Baker. Let's see what Baker can do after the catch. Baker picks up another 8. So Montreal moving the ball down the field very nicely. Barnes back to Green. It's an end run now. And Green gets stuffed. Bruce Clark there to say, nuh-uh, it is a loss of 1. It's going to be 2nd and 11. Really some time to think, what is the Montreal coach going to do here? Is this 3-down territory? Or does he want to go for the field goal to tie it if he's not able to convert here on 2nd and 11? This is why they get paid the big bucks, folks. So they've made their decision. It's Barnes under center. He is going for a pass from option. And it's complete. It's another 10-yard pass now to Baker. Let's see what Baker can do after the catch. And Baker picks up another 2 yards. So that is a 12-yard pickup there. Good call. So that is going to be a
First down, Montreal.
And there is a minute and 45 seconds remaining in this game. Montreal at the Toronto 31-yard line. They're going back to the run. It's a reverse. Barnes to Green. And Green is being pushed back by Bruce Clark, and he fumbles the ball.
That's a huge hit.
Wow. So with a minute and 25 seconds remaining in the game, the Alouettes... Sometimes when you're a losing team, you don't get a break.
The stunned silence here in Olympic Stadium.
Jackson coming on the field now. He's going to be pretty safe with the ball. He is going for a end run, and he gets stuffed. There by Gord Judges. No gain there on the play. It's going to be a 2nd and 10. There is a minute and 21 seconds remaining in the 4th quarter. Jackson with the ball. They are going to stay conservative here. They are going to go for a sweep. And wow, Gord Judges again pushes them back 6 yards. That is a 6-yard loss on the play, and that is going to bring up 3rd and long. The Alouettes, they may get another chance here. That is some really disappointing play there from Metcalf. He's been a real star all game with 2 rushing touchdowns, over 100 yards rushing, but not when it counts at the end of the game. So we have
Zenon and Rishishin.
on to kick the punt. That ball is up. And that's a 50-yard punt and a 15-yard return.
This is Chad Owens, the Flying Hawaiian and former receiver for the Toronto Argonauts. You're listening to Third and Roll, a Canadian football board game podcast.
So Montreal, with a first down at their own 41-yard line, there are 56 seconds remaining in the game. They need a field goal to tie it. A touchdown will win it. Wow. That was really a great call to go for 2. Really puts them in a much better position here. Let's see where they can go. Barnes is keeping the ball himself, and he picks up 5 yards. Wow. So it's going to be 2nd and 5 with 48 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter.
2nd down.
Going right back to the running play. It's a run from option, and they pick up another 5 yards. So that is going to be a
1st down, Montreal.
good movement of the ball here. Again, time is really a factor. They have 39 seconds remaining, going right back to the running play. Interesting call to have all these running plays when time is such a big factor. And they pick up another 5 yards, so it's going to be 2nd and 5 now. Montreal has just made it across the center line, so they are on the Toronto side of the field. They are 2nd and 5 from the Argos 52. Barnes keeping the ball in his hands this time. It's going to be a pass from option, and it's incomplete. It's incomplete, so this is going to bring up 3rd and 5. This could be the game, folks.
All right, quit pressuring me, please!
There is only 33 seconds remaining. What are they going to do? They are going back to the running play, and Green gets the 5 yards. He just barely got it before he was brought down by the Argos defensive line. There is 20 seconds remaining. They are at the Argos 47-yard line. They're going for another pass from option here. The ball is up, and Barnes finds Baker. Barnes finds Baker down the left-hand sidelines. He picks up 15. What can he do after the catch? He picks up another 2. So, wow, with that, the Alouettes are down to the Argos 30-yard line. There are 23 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Going right back to that running play. It's an end run, and the Alouettes have picked up 10 yards. So that's going to be another first down.
There's a flag on the play.
And it is a defensive offside. Wow. So Montreal is going to decline that penalty. They are down to the Argos 20-yard line. 20 seconds remaining in the game. Norman, what do you think here? This is really coming down to the end here.
We are getting a proper finish to this football game.
Wow. So Barnes going right back to Green for a run from option. And Green picks up 15 yards. Wow, they are really knocking on the door here, down to the Argos 5-yard line. There are, at this point, 12 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. And they're going right back to that running play. It's an off left tackle. And they pick up 3. They pick up 3. That brings them down to the 3-yard line. There are 8 seconds remaining in the game. They are at the 3-yard line.
The Argos have been their defense really bending here, but once again, as soon as they get to that goal line, they just make a wall out of it.
So 2nd and 3, Bruce Clark is calling all the Argos over to him, saying, "We got this. We've been here before. We've stopped them before. We're going to stop them again. We know what they're going to do. They're going to call a rushing play, and we are going to stop them." So Barnes, shockingly, handing it off to Green. Green trying to run right up the center, and Green gets stuffed. So with that, there are 3 seconds remaining in the game.
3rd and roll.
3rd and goal from the 3-yard line. Norman, let's take a pause here.
This is one for the ages. I mean, this decision here, do you go for the win or do you take the almost certain tie with a field goal right here?
I mean, when you're a team that's behind, like Montreal is this season, how much of a victory would a tie be? But you know what? I'm an Argo homer. But who knows? We'll see. We'll see. The play is being blown onto the field here. The signal is coming in. It looks as though they are going for it.
It's showtime.
David Barnes hands it off to Green, and Green, and he gets into the end zone. Wow.
A walk-off touchdown.
Wow. And there are zeros up on the board. Wow.
This Montreal crowd has been handed a gift today.
So the Alouettes take the lead on the last play of the game, and they walk off with a victory that is 24-21.
Well, security is stepping in as the fans really want to storm the field right now. It's just that triumphant a moment for these fans that have been denied anything to be happy about all season. And now a truly dramatic come from behind final moment walk-off victory.
Norman, go ahead, please.
And the Argos just look stunned. They don't know what just hit them. A defense that had been so solid all game, but in the very final moment, Montreal found a way through.
You lose! Good day, sir!
So that is the final play of the game. With that victory, the Montreal Alouettes have their first win. The Argos have their first loss. Just a quick update on the activity going on elsewhere in the league. The Hamilton Tiger Cats have pulled out a victory on the road in Ottawa. It was 28-24 for Hamilton. So with that, Hamilton moves into a first-place tie with Toronto, each with 5 points. Ottawa in third with 4, and Montreal in fourth place with 2 points.
Next time on Third and Roll.
Toronto, Ottawa.
Round 2, fight!
Third and Roll is an independent Canadian football board game podcast recorded in Toronto, Ontario in 2019. Today's episode featured the voices of Spencer, Alex, Bryce, and Subi.
This works for me.
Thanks, Subi. Our cover art is illustrated by Bryce Hall. This episode was edited by
Spencer Adams from Toronto.
Our theme music is Magic Mountain by Jazzar. Brett Brannigan's theme is The Spellbreaker by Tritachyon. Both songs used through a Creative Commons Attribution License and freemusicarchive.org. Ron Booman's theme is Bach's Mach für Dank, performed by United States Army Old Guard Fife and Drum Corps. The Pedant's theme is Bach's Variato in a Cinq Clave, performed by Kimiko Ishizaka. Todd Gray's interview music is Bach's Aria Variata, Variation Number 3, performed by Brendan Kinsella. That's a lot of Bach. All Bach pieces used are in the public domain. If you'd like to help support the show, you can tell a friend or leave us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts or whatever podcatcher you use. Or you can head on over to patreon.com/thirdandroll and become a patron to get exclusive early access to new game episodes and to become a recurring character on the show. If you want to get in touch, you can find us on Twitter @thirdandroll or send an email to thirdandroll@gmail.com. New episodes every Wednesday. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time on Third and Roll.
I'm not an afterthought, Spencer, but I'll move on.